Senator Rosenberg announced that he would resign effective tomorrow. What was the caucus discussing? What were some of the issues?
I think you have to remember that the caucus was presented with an 80-page report, and that was one of the things that many of us felt very strongly about, and certainly the Republican caucus felt very strongly that the report be exhaustive and that it be as fact-based as possible. The members were presented with that. They needed time to digest it. So a lot of yesterday was spent reading the document so that we could be prepared to take whatever action became necessary to take.
Is there any action that the Senate can take at this point?
There is, however, in my humble opinion, it is fairly limited. We have several options on the table. We're going to continue to discuss those, and I suspect you will see action this afternoon.
What types of actions are you talking
Well, for instance, we have a report out there that has not yet been accepted by the body. It has been presented as a recommendation by the Ethics Committee. In my humble opinion, it would be wholly appropriate to accept that report because in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many others, it is a factual report. And just as we insisted that it needs to be public, I think we should insist, and I am insisting, that we as a body accept the report.
Could and should anything be done to Senator Rosenberg's pension benefits?
Well, that'll be a subject that we'll have to discuss in the future. To be honest, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that. There are clearly pension rules that are in place relative to transgressions of law. I'm not so sure any of them will be applicable in this particular instance, but to be completely candid with you, that is a subject that we have yet to consider fully.
Did Senator Rosenberg do the right thing for the Senate?
He absolutely did the right thing for the Senate. Senator Rosenberg's resignation, in my humble opinion, and I think that of my colleagues, certainly in the Republican caucus, is the right result here, is to not have him continue to serve as a member of this body.
Do you have a sense of whether any other senators share information in their email accounts or calendars with their spouses or other family members?
You know, I really don't, but what I would say is the information that's contained in the report about the policies on that subject, I think will cause everyone to consider their actions and review those policies and make sure they're complying with them. But to be able to say what other members have done or continue to do, I absolutely cannot.
Was there a movement to do more if the senator had not resigned? A movement to do more than just strip him of leadership?
It's difficult to predict. I will tell you that there were, I can speak for my caucus, and we were prepared to take action.
Will there be
Suspension
any
or
possible
expulsion?
censure?
Well, you know what, again, I don't want to be speculative. I think I would put it this way. We agree with the result that has ensued, and we were prepared to get to that place.
When you said you were going to insist, you said you were going to insist that the report be accepted. Does that mean that the resolution be accepted and the recommendations, or just the report?
To some extent, the recommendations have now become a moot point, but it is important that the report become accepted because it contains findings, and those findings are of serious actions that need to be on the record and should not be dismissed just because of the fact that Senator Rosenberg has resigned. We spent a lot of time to develop that report, and we spent a lot of state resources to get to that point. In my humble opinion, it would be a serious mistake to now not make it part of the official record so that no one can forget about what's happened here. The recommendations, those are a different story at this point.
Senator, if you and your caucus were prepared to take action, as you just said, to maybe force a result similar to what Rosenberg's resignation accomplished, why would you join and endorse an ethics committee report that recommended only taking away leadership responsibilities?
I think the report is very clear that my belief and the report and the belief of the committee is that that is an action that should only be used in the rarest of instances, and it should be done primarily by the voters that send someone here to represent them. That being said, we were willing to give Senator Rosenberg the opportunity to do the right thing. He did it.
Senator Tarr, any talk about possible censure before he steps down tomorrow?
We'll see what's going to happen on the floor right now. I think that's certainly an option, and the Senate's going to address this afternoon.
And we would expect this seat to be filled with the November regularly scheduled election?
Yes.
Senator, do you think that Karen Stoker is the right person to restore a lot of the trust that's been lost by the people of the Commonwealth to the Senate as a body?
Well,
she was very close with Stan.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think many people in this chamber were very close with Stan, and that happened as a result of the shared leadership of which he was the principal architect. And so if we want to begin evaluating members based on their personal relationship with one of the most affable and personable Senate presidents in recent memory, I think that would leave very few people to be considered as qualified to be Senate president.
Just to reiterate, though, I didn't hear an answer to your question. Do you think Karen Spilka is the right person to?
Senate president's the choice of the body, and we all need to move forward. And she has made commitments to be able to move forward in a way that restores the trust. We need to hold her accountable for that, and we will be watching as a caucus. Obviously, I will be a candidate in that race, so I wouldn't say that she's the only person that could do it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
For session?